Hey, what's up everyone and welcome to today's video. This channel's regular broadcast is interrupted for a special coverage of the first solo series of Wolverine. It's a limited series of 4 parts published by Marvel Comics in 1982. In the previous episode we saw Wolverine getting hammered in a bar, and after having a fight, getting approached by his friend Asano who wanted to recruit him. Wolverine rejected the offer and got in a confrontation with Yukio, a woman who had been scheming against him all along, conspiring against him, in the service of Shingen Yashida. She apparently murdered Asano and Wolverine chased her through Tokyo, only to end up in a place where he was ambushed by assassins of the Hand. After they fought, Wolverine had an epiphany and decided it was time to take revenge on Shingen Yashida, the father of the woman he loves, but who rejected him and married someone else. Issue number 4. Wolverine is a man you do not want to have as an enemy. His mutant abilities of fast healing and heightened senses, complemented by his skeleton being laced with adamantium, the strongest metal on Earth, make him extremely durable. His claws are made of the same material. He's an exceptional killing machine. At the moment he's on the prowl, watching a drug trade take place between two men. He attacks and rips open both suitcases, making the drugs and money inside of them getting carried by the wind. He foiled the trade and has a message for their boss, Lord Shingen Yashida. He wants them to tell him that Wolverine is coming for him. Logan doesn't just attack here. He spends hours on ripping apart the empire Shingen has built over the years. Some of the criminals he confronts try to fight, where some run away. Regardless, none of them get very far. In the meantime, word is getting to Shingen. His empire is crumbling and he's starting to lose respect. The gangs under his control are starting to fear his enemy more than they fear him. Shingen is convinced his finest ninja will take care of the situation. He's convinced that Wolverine is as good as dead. That's when a package arrives. Shingen says to open it right here and now. The box has ninja hoods in it and a note, and the note is simply saying, "Tonight." That's when Shingen realizes he has underestimated the situation. He gives the order to summon the Hand Clan, to tell them an opportunity has presented itself to avenge their fallen clansmen. When asked if it's wise for Shingen to stay around for the battle, he responds by saying it'll be necessary, that his life is nothing without honor, and he's faced and dealt with Wolverine in single combat before, but this time he will kill him. Back in his hotel, Wolverine has gathered the weaponry left by the ninjas he's taken out. Thinking about everything that has happened to him since he came back to Japan. Every loss, heartbreak, betrayal, and the crushing of his spirit. He's setting out a plan to execute his revenge, knowing that in the process he will most likely lose both women he has fallen in love with. In the family history room of the clan Yashida, deep within the ancestral stronghold, Mariko is asking herself what she should do, what she can do. She realizes her position in regard to the return of her father. Her getting married to her horrible and abusive husband, only to satisfy obligations her father had incurred, regardless of her love for Wolverine. Honoring her family's traditions and obligations in the name of an evil man. A crime lord. Her father. She doesn't know what to do, and desperately asks her gods and ancestors for the wisdom needed to figure out what next steps to take. Somewhere else, one of the hand ninjas finds out the watchdogs around the estate are dead, only to get taken out himself. 3 blades in his back. Yukio's blade. As she continues breaching the castle, she's being watched by other ninjas, having her dead in their sights. One of them aims at her with his bow, but they do not attack her. Not yet. Shingen has given orders to take her out alive, so they let her continue while they follow her, until they are able to catch her in a net. They seize her and bring her before Lord Shingen. Mariko heard the commotion outside and enters the room of her father, wanting to ask what's going on. He tells her to come in because there's a lesson to be learned here. They, Yukio and Mariko, have something in common. An affection for Wolverine. Something, Shingen says, he will cure them both of before the night is ended. He reprimands Yukio for not obeying his orders to kill Wolverine, and Yukio tells him he should have just let Wolverine be. He had reached a point where he did not care about him or his daughter anymore. Yukio and him were happy together, just the two of them. Shingen tells her it's not about Wolverine, as much as it is about her disobeying a direct order to kill him. Yukio tells Shingen she belongs to no one and she does as she pleases. He asks her why she came here and she responds by saying she killed Wolverine's friend. Shingen takes out his blade and asks her if she wanted to make amends by killing him, to balance the scales. He strikes with the blade, but cuts Yukio loose and asks her to come for him then. He punches her in the gut, hard, kicks her in the face, complimenting her while trampling on her, easily punishing her for her treacherous ways. Mariko interrupts him, telling him he's killing her. Shingen tells her that obviously he is, and he tells her to not get in his way. That's when Shingen gets hailed on the radio. Someone is trying to reach him. All of the sentry ninjas have been taken out, killed, as they disintegrate into nothingness. Wolverine has arrived. Noburo, Mariko's abusive husband, has heard enough. He tells Shingen he can stay here all he wants, but he prefers to be alive, as he takes Mariko away and pulls the gun. Mariko resists, and Noburo tells her he's not in the mood to argue. That's when Wolverine arrives and tells Noburo he's heard what Mariko wants. She wants to stay. Feeling threatened, Noburo points his gun at Mariko's temple, telling Wolverine to not make a single wrong move or he will shoot her. He tells Wolverine to step into the lights where he can see him more clearly, and as Wolverine does, Noburo pulls the trigger, shooting Wolverine. But Noburo himself gets hit in the back by Yukio's blades. Yukio uses one of her blades to cut Mariko, but only her clothes, using it to stop Wolverine's bleeding for the moment. She tells Logan with a kiss that she would like to stay, to fight by his side, but Logan says she can't. She leaves instantly. Logan can never forgive her for killing Asano, but she just saved her rival, his love, Mariko, and for that he can never repay her, so he lets her go. Mariko is at a loss for words and Wolverine leaves her to follow Shingen. She knows damn well what comes next, the final showdown. A duel, but this time with real swords, not wooden swords. Earlier, Shingen regarded Wolverine to not be worthy of real swords. So Logan asks Shingen, as he calls for him, if he's worthy now. Shingen responds by saying that it remains to be seen. They engage one another, cutting and slicing each other. Shingen cuts deeper though. He viciously attacks again, slicing and cutting Wolverine over and over. They duck, parry, attack each other multiple times, until Wolverine gets a hold of Shingen's blade and puts his clenched fist at Shingen's face and then unsheaths his claws. It's lethal. Mariko steps in the room, looking at the scenario, figuring out what happened. Wolverine, the man she loves, slayed her father, the man she despises. Tradition, honor and duty demand that he now becomes her enemy for the rest of their lives. She picks up Shingen's sword, trembling as she does so. It would be child's play for Logan to take it from her. Logan could kill her in several different ways without Mariko knowing what hit her, but he doesn't do a thing. Mariko asks Logan if he remembers what the blade means, its connection to her family and the tradition that goes with it. The symbolism of the blade, nobility and perfection crafted by a noble and gracious swordsmith 800 years ago. About how the blade is not supposed to be worn by the head of the clan, but by the samurai who best exemplifies those qualities. Her father, by his acts and his lack of virtues, did not have the right to wield this blade. Mariko tells Logan that the blade is his to wear. Shocked by this, Logan can only respond by saying that he is not worthy. Mariko then corrects him. Logan fought for the good of others, for universal right and truth. Unlike her father, who fought merely for greed and survival. Logan persevered, even though he knew it would cost him everything he holds dear. And by doing so, he proved that he is what Shingen could never hope to become. Logan finally accepts, and they embrace. Later, Mariko would tell Logan that if Shingen had survived their duel, she would have killed him herself. And then, after having been successful, she would have ended herself in a ritualistic form of suicide. She could live with Noburo behaving like a swine, it was to be expected since he had no honor to begin with, but for her father, the head of the Yashida clan, to behave in such a way was unacceptable. And for Mariko, as the heir to the domain, it would have been her duty to punish her father's transgressions. Luckily, she didn't have to do so. Mariko and Logan stay in the mountains for the time being, so he can rest and heal properly. Then, in the spring, he writes to his fellow X-Men, telling them all about his adventures, and also informing them about what is going to happen soon. He wishes he could see the look on their faces when they open the card. Wolverine and Mariko are getting married. Thanks for watching this video and I hope you enjoyed it. You can help growing this channel by hitting the like button and by subscribing if you haven't already subscribed. This tells YouTube that the videos I'm making should be recommended to others and would be very much appreciated. See you next episode.